Hello, I'm to another Bren Groups unit of the Reek, and today we're taking a look at the Bren Groups available to the 15th Scottish Infantry Division, the Guards Armour Division, and the Special Service Brigade. So during the interwar period, the British were looking for a new light machine gun, as their previous light machine gun, the Lewis gun, was pretty unreliable and clunky to use. It was definitely a World War I design, and they needed something better for a modern war. They looked around at a bunch of different LMGs and decided to pick up the VB-VZ-26, which was a Czech light machine gun that was very popular around that time. It decided to make a few modifications to it, of course. The main one, it shoots 303 Enfield instead of 8mm Mauser, and with this they came up with the Bren gun eventually. The BR stands for Brno, which is the Czech manufacturer, and the N stands for Enfield, which is the British manufacturer, though they would be produced and licensed in Britain. During the Second World War, of course, I'd see quite a lot of active service in the Commonwealth forces. Mainly it'd be one Bren gun per rifle section, kind of like a standard LMG role. In terms of effectiveness, it couldn't put down as much fire on, say, an MG42-34 or heck even M1919, but because it kind of shot a bit slower and you had to keep reloading it, it didn't overheat as much compared to those other machine guns, and it was extremely reliable. You could pretty much take it through dirt and hit it up, and it would still shoot because it was a rather good piece of kit. And it must have been a pretty good piece of kit because the British Armed Forces used the Bren gun all throughout the Cold War, and it last saw service in the British Army in the Gulf War in 1991. In-game, the Bren Group is a 10-point infantry squad available from A to C phase for Scotch, the Commando Brigade, and the Guards Armoured Division, and they have 2 weapons. So unsurprisingly, you got 2 Bren guns and 3 Lee Enfield rifles. It's an alright complement. I mean, the Bren guns put out a bit of damage, only 3 HE at 400 meters. It's just enough to get you by long-range firefights, but not enough to do any significant damage by themselves. And if we pop down to the miscellaneous stats, we got 5 guys in a squad, good stealth, a speed of 18 kilometers an hour, normal optics capability, and light cargo space. So in battle, you may be thinking, Rang, Bren guns are shit. Bren guns are terrible. Why do you get Bren Groups? Just buy Rifleman. They're a much better, well-rounded choice. And in a run-on-run department, you are completely right. Bren Groups may as well throw ret tissues at the enemy, because they can barely kill enemy squads, let alone, heck, even suppress them. But that's not what the Bren Group is good for. The Bren Group is a spam group. They're only 10 points, you can get a lot of them very easily, and in numbers they become scary. For example, 3 Bren Groups, which is 30 points, have 9 HE according to the stat card. I think it may only just be 2.5, that's a whole nother issue. But anyway, they have similar firepower to a 35 point Panzer Grenadier squad, while also having 3 Bren Groups, you have 5 more guys, so 5 more extra HP. And even better, if you lose the Bren Groups, you still have 2 other Bren Groups to continue the fight, where if you lose a whole Panzer Grenadier squad, you lose all of that damage. And that's really what Bren Groups are for. You get them in numbers, and then you can actually start killing stuff. And it's very easy to get a lot of them. In a lot of decks, for example, Commando Brigade, you can buy a whole card's worth, 12 Bren Groups, in pretty much 1 tick during C phase, and still have money left over to buy more Bren Groups if you so desire. In terms of how you spam them, you want to be spamming Bren Groups over open fields where they can use their 300-400 meter engagement distance to do a lot of damage. Spamming them inside of towns and in forest is pretty much worthless, as they're terrible, only 1 HE on their rifles. And how do you counter Bren Group? Because this is a pretty cheesy strategy, I'm not gonna lie. The best way to counter them is to pretty much just use neighbor earthers, panzer earthers, rocket artillery essentially, to try and stun up the big force. They're worth roll in pretty much all the decks you can get them. For example, this is my 15th Scottish Infantry Division loadout, and it's a lot of Bren Groups. I believe it's 36, 38, I'll probably correct myself in edit, but it's a lot. Commando Brigade as well, you can get a lot of them. They're very worthwhile to complement your 2-star infantry. Guard Armoured, I'd say they're so-and-so, just because you can already get more motorized choices, but they're still not a terrible choice. So, overall, Bren Groups are like Ersatz Trooping. They just lack HP, but instead gain long-range fire ability. And I don't even know if that's a word, but let's just end it off at that. This has been another Rang Rouge and Reek. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And usual, please just take it easy.